Hello everybody, this is Imran Jamil. Assalamu alaikum. Ek dafa phir. Today I'm gonna talk about something that I've been asked a lot of questions for, and it is about how to self-motivate oneself, what is the relation between self-motivation and contentment. Because if you're content, then you're content with whatever you have. A lot of people take it that way. And if you're motivated, that means that you just want to change your situation at all times. So I think there's a fair bit of confusion that is related to this notion of self-motivation or motivation or how to move forward in life. So first we need to understand that why do you need to be motivated? Motivation is and can be directly attributed towards positivity. Now there are two types of motivations, intrinsic and extrinsic. So in the extrinsic, you basically are motivated to get external rewards. You do good at work because you're motivated to do good at work because you want to be promoted or you want an increment in the salary. Same thing goes with the business, same thing goes with trying to professionally excel in anything, studies or may it be anything else that is related to the world itself, and that basically dictates your worldly success. Now, a person who's totally materialistic, maybe that's what it is that gives him the peace as well. Now, intrinsic is something that gives you inner peace, that makes you feel good from inside. You can do certain things about it, such as charity, helping others, or doing something for the community, anything. It could be anything. For each person, it's different. So that's why. But there are two categories that we have to look at the motivation into. That can both be combined. Yes, there are certain aspects that you do good work that gives you the reward in the world, as well as gives you the happiness from inside that you want to feel. But both are interlinked in a different way. You need to first focus and you need to first decide, right? So a lot of people have a lot of money and all the means and resources, yet they're not happy. But what are they doing? They're still motivated to continue to earn more, continue to better their business, or continue to do good at work, but they're not satisfied from inside. When they go to sleep, that's the question. When you go to sleep, can you sleep peacefully? That's where the intrinsic motivation comes into play. That now it is related to self-contentment as well. That you are content with where you are, what your aspirations are, what you have, you basically work according to that. Contentment doesn't mean that you just let go of everything and just sit back and you're just good for life. No. Being human, we have certain natural instincts, and one of them is to succeed in most people, right? If a person doesn't want to do anything in the world, maybe he's depressed or he's just lost or she's just lost. So one has to first determine exactly what the priorities of life are. For some people, as long as they are able to fulfill their responsibilities, raising the kids, going to work, coming back, having some free time, enjoy on the weekends, and occasionally travel or have a good time with friends or something, and they may be good. If that's the level of satisfaction that they earn for and they get it through this means, well and good. But most of us, really, if you think about the human nature, God in general, regardless of what religion or culture you're from, has given us instincts that when we do something good for the others, we feel really good from inside, even though we don't gain anything monetarily in most cases, because that's not the purpose. The purpose is to help the other person, either to please God or to just feel content, satisfied from within. So again, there's a relation between motivation as well as self-contentment. We are consumed with running in this rat race that everybody has, that, okay, this guy has something, a friend has something, then I gotta have it. Why can't I have it? What's wrong with what I'm doing? Why can't I get the reward? For instance, I'm doing this YouTube, right? I'm doing it because I love doing it. I'm not, obviously, if it becomes big and I start earning money from it, and at a certain point I decide to go full-time with it, then my motivation might change. That now, okay, you know what, if this becomes my source of income, then I would really have my motivation divided. That, yeah, I feel good about making a content that I feel that I can share and help others, whether it's my vlogs, whether it's just fun stuff, whether it's something related to mind sciences, educational, or anything. But if I become a full-time YouTuber, then my focus again is to make sure that I can pay my bills with the income that I generate from YouTube. That's not happening, or I don't know when is that going to happen, because I'm just doing it because I love sharing my experiences. I love sharing the thoughts. Overall, I am a positive person, and I feel that a lot of people just need a little bit of direction. So if some things that help me move forward in life, and I can share it with them, it's up to them. Apply it according to your own situation. I'm not giving you a one-size-fits-all solution. And for that purpose, I made my one of the first videos on secrets of happiness. And since then, I've gotten a lot of queries. First of all, that was my first video, so overall sound quality, and I couldn't do justice probably. I had a great presentation, and the purpose of that was to just lay it out at the highest level, that it was divided into 4 components: that expectations, requirements, factors, and the last one was dependencies. And in those 4 factors, I broke down into a few steps at the highest level. And if you think about it, that is the gist, what you need. That's the kind of framework that you need. That has helped me. And if you apply it according to your own situation, it will help you as well. So motivation comes from anything. You have to find, what are you after? You in your life, like if you're a 25-year-old just fresh out of college with little experience, you have bigger aspirations, that's really motivational in general. And then you have to have certain goals that, how you keep yourself motivated, that's another thing. I can be motivated to do something right this minute, but the next minute, my priority could change. So that's where we need a little bit of a framework type scenario where we work, and if there are good practices, continue doing them, because eventually they will help. Because whether it's self-contentment, motivation, or happiness, whatever it is, it all requires conditioning of your heart and mind. Discipline is a big component of it. So we have to be self-disciplined. We can still enjoy, but know that every action has a reaction. So if you do certain good things and they're not giving you the result, chances are that eventually you will get there. But if you're not following the correct path and expecting the best results, then yeah, you may get lucky. A lot of people get lucky, right? Whether it's professional or otherwise, or personal. But chances are that you may not succeed in either one of them. So if you learn how to be content, and we all struggle with that. I really like to do different things. I'm a big car lover. I'm a big motorcycle lover. I like to travel. I like to do this. Sometimes I can't do that. And when that doesn't happen and I really want to do it, then it becomes frustrating at times for numerous reasons. And that's the time when I have to go back to that framework and start telling myself what is the situation, what good in life I have already, what blessings do I have, and am I able to do something other than what I want to do and maybe get some benefit out of that in the meantime? So you decide yourself. But you have to have a methodology that you need to continue to repeat, and repetition is what we need with anything that is required to condition our heart and mind, because good times and bad times both will come in life. If you continue to practice certain things, you just become more attuned to deal with the bad time. It's not like you're going to be able to avoid that. You're not going to be, there will be sad times, there will be bad times, there will be tough times. But if you become in that, or you come into that positive frame of mind, it just becomes easier for you to deal with the bad time. And then once you become positive, one more thing that happens is you are always looking out, making something out of what you have instead of worrying about what you don't have. So again, these are some of the, I guess, very vaguely put explanations based on the questions that I'm getting. If we can take this as a team. You know, you give me your perspective, you give me your comments and feedback, and we can talk about each one of them. I'll put the link for that Secrets of Happiness slide deck so you can look at it and see what your perspective is, how you relate to certain things or how you don't relate to certain things, and then we can take it further, because each one of those components means something. Methodology is important in whatever we do, whether we want to motivate ourselves, whether we want to be self-content, because by nature, we just like to change. And more changes bring sometimes more anxiety. So again, everything has to be aligned, prioritized, goal-centric, and then slowly and gradually expect results. Hope this helps people. I didn't mean to make you more confused, but it's just a vast subjective matter that has to be followed through with an objective path. So we can be subjective as far as the interpretations are concerned, but we have to be objective as far as the facts are concerned and the methodologies are concerned. So with that being said, I'd like to end this video. It's pretty longish now. If you like the video, provide your feedback, as well as don't forget to press the bell icon and share, like, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a good one.